Hi everyone, it's Angelia Trinidad, CEO and founder of Passion Planner, and you're watching The Game Changer, where I share game-changing ideas that have helped me on my journey to becoming a millionaire, but most importantly, live life more intentionally. So today's topic is another book review of, honestly, a book that has become one of my favorite books in the past month, and it is Not Nice by Aziz Gazipura. And this book is thick. It is a very, very thick book, but it's such a great book, and I think it's a book that has taught me the benefits of being not nice. So I wanted to share with you my top 3 takeaways from the book that you can apply today. So a little background about how I stumbled upon this book is I follow a lot of therapists on Instagram, and one of my favorite therapist account, The Holistic Psychologist, actually mentioned it in one of her stories. So I bought it and I fell in love with the book. I listened to it on audiobook, and this book is probably 17 hours long, which is so long, but super great. I'm on my 3rd listen right now. So, I'm just gonna read the subtitle. So, not nice. Stop people pleasing, staying silent and feeling guilty, and start speaking up, saying no, asking boldly, and unapologetically being yourself. And that's something that I've tried to do for a long time, and something that I've written on a lot of my bios in the past, which is to live life unapologetically and unapologetically be myself. So when I read that, I was like, gotta read this book. So my first takeaway is to treat people like the capable adults that they are, regardless of what their emotional state may be. A lot of times in the past, I've been very, very accommodating people because they've been in very difficult mental states, and because of that, let them cross certain boundaries or let them talk to me in ways that wasn't respectful. And I think for me, what I've learned in the past year of my life is that when you treat people with the dignity that they have power to create their life, you give them the opportunity to do so, as opposed to coddling them. And I think that's really important. It's been such a game-changing thing for me that if I just learned that one thing and applied that one thing, it was worth reading this whole book. Why that's so important is because when you treat people like they are able to make changes in their life, you don't overact for them, meaning you don't take responsibility for their life. You say, hey, I understand that you're going through a really hard time, but that doesn't mean that you can talk to me that way. And when you did that, it really hurt me, and I can't have you talk to me like that. And that's pretty much it. And not having to be apologetic about it, because this is a healthy boundary that you need to create. So that's my first thing, which is to just treat people like the powerful human beings that they are. And also understanding that people are responsible for their own lives, and the only life you're responsible for is your own. So another thing is interrupting people when you're speaking. So something that I know a lot of women, and some men also deal with in the workplace or just in general, is people cutting them off before they finish their thought. So one way to combat that is say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not finished with my point. I'm gonna finish it, and then you can speak your piece. A lot of times we let ourselves get interrupted, and we are actually inviting that action to keep happening. So just saying and be like, excuse me, I'm actually not done with my point, and really affirming yourself in that position. And I know it feels uncomfortable, so a good tip that I have is to try it with a friend, in a friendly way. If your friend cuts you off during a story or something that you're trying to say, you speaking up for yourself in this low-risk situation. And hopefully that translates into a work or more high-risk or challenging situation. So tip number 3 is shadow journaling. And what shadow journaling is keeping a journal that you can potentially lock up somewhere, or you must be able to lock up somewhere, that you can express your deepest, truest feelings and not feel like someone's gonna read it. And the reason why it is so important to do this is because you need to find ways to externalize your feelings in a safe place. And when you do that, then all the feelings and all the thoughts that are rushing through your head get placed into a physical space, and that can be really cathartic. So also when you shadow journal, you don't have to go back and read it. The purpose of shadow journaling is really being able to be candid about your feelings and feeling like something has received them. even if it's just paper, and also just externalizing those emotions. And if you don't like writing, what you can do instead is go on a shadow walk, which is like you go to the beach or you go to the park and you actually say the things that are making you frustrated or the thoughts that, you know, might be really dark, and you say them verbally out loud. That is something that I think is important, because a lot of us think that we need to be like perfect and pure and nice and sweet and positive all the time. And that is completely unrealistic, because we are complex human beings with complex emotions that range from positive to negative, that being able to externalize them in a safe way is really important. And having to do it with paper or to no one as you're walking is important, because no one has to take on that energy or feel like they need to like help you solve it. It's just, I'm externalizing it and I'm venting. So essentially what you're doing is you're venting on paper or you're venting to the air, which can be really, really, really stress relieving. So this book, honestly, that was like the equivalent of like 3 pages of this book. Like, this book is such a great book. If you are someone that is struggling with, why do I hold like resentment with people? Or why do I have this tension whenever I talk to people? Or why do I feel guilty when I say no? Like, this book really walks you through not only the concepts behind this, but also the practical applications of how to overcome those things, and I would highly recommend it. So thank you, Dr. Aziz. Great book, and I hope you gained something from this video. If you enjoyed it, please like it or subscribe. So let me know in the comments below any book that has inspired you recently. And if I pick your book and I make a video out of it, I will shout out to you and thank you for it. So remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to start, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.